Something around you may not be as it should be. In recent days, have you been feeling unexplained fatigue, constant delays, or doors that seem to close in front of you for no clear reason? Pay attention. Not everyone walking beside you is happy about your achievements. Some may harbor feelings of envy, resentment, or negativity without showing it openly. As a messenger at this time, I want to share with you some spiritual guidance that can help you recognize which relationships require more caution and which ones truly have your best interests at heart. Don't ignore this message. What you're about to hear in the next few minutes may change the way you perceive certain people around you and help you open pathways to blessings that may have been blocked. But before we continue, I ask you for a simple gesture of faith. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Many people report that, by following the messages from the celestial voice, they have found comfort, guidance, and strength in the most difficult moments. May this message also be a source of light, protection, and blessings for your life. Now pay close attention. In the next few minutes, you will receive spiritual guidance that can help you understand who truly rejoices in your happiness and who merely watches your growth in silence. Stay with us until the end of this prayer and watch closely for the signs that may appear in the coming days. There is an important message for you, and those who listen until the end usually come away with a different understanding of what God wants to show them. There are moments in life when the signs are so subtle that most people overlook them completely. Yet those who pay attention often realize that what seemed like coincidence was actually a warning they needed to see. Have you ever noticed how certain conversations leave you feeling drained, even when nothing negative was openly said? Sometimes the deepest impact comes from what remains unspoken rather than from the words themselves. Many people search for answers in obvious places while missing the small details unfolding around them every day. The message you are hearing right now may help you recognize one of those details. Not every challenge appears as a direct obstacle. Some arrive disguised as distractions, delays, or unexpected changes that quietly redirect your focus away from what truly matters. There is a reason why certain opportunities seem to disappear at the last moment, while others arrive when you least expect them. The difference may not be as random as it appears. Spiritual discernment often begins with observation. Before anything becomes clear, there is usually a period of confusion that tests whether we are willing to pay attention. Think about the people who enter your life during seasons of growth. Some celebrate your progress. Others become uncomfortable when they see you moving forward. The difficult part is that appearances can be misleading. A smile does not always reveal true intentions, and silence does not always mean support. This is why wisdom is so important. The ability to observe without rushing to conclusions can protect you from mistakes that emotion alone cannot prevent. Over the next few moments, I want you to reflect on recent events that seemed unusual. A cancelled plan, an unexpected disagreement, or a sudden change may carry a lesson you have not fully considered. Sometimes God allows certain situations to reveal what was previously hidden. What feels disappointing in the moment may later prove to be a form of protection. Many people only understand this truth after looking back on their journey. They realize that closed doors spared them from paths that were never meant for them. But there is another sign that often goes unnoticed. It appears in the reactions of those around you when good things begin happening in your life. Pay attention to who encourages you consistently, even when they gain nothing from doing so. Genuine support has a different spirit than empty praise. There are individuals who celebrate success only when it remains small. The moment growth becomes visible, their attitude quietly begins to change. This does not mean you should become suspicious of everyone. It means you should become more aware of the influence different people have on your peace, confidence, and faith. The truth is that spiritual clarity rarely arrives all at once. It unfolds step by step, revealing only what you need to know at the right time. As you continue listening, keep an open heart and an attentive mind. One particular insight may stand out to you in a way that feels deeply personal. What makes this message important is not merely the information itself, but how it connects to circumstances that may already be developing around you. And before we go further, there is one question you should quietly ask yourself. A question that has helped many people recognize what was hidden in plain sight long before anyone else could see it. That question is simple, yet its answer can reveal more than most people expect. When something good happens in your life, who is genuinely happy for you, even when no one else is watching? The answer may not come immediately. Sometimes truth reveals itself through patterns rather than isolated moments. A single event can be misleading, but repeated behavior rarely is. There is a reason wise people observe consistency instead of promises. Anyone can speak encouraging words for a day. Character becomes visible over time. As you reflect, you may begin remembering situations that once seemed insignificant. Certain reactions, comments, or attitudes may suddenly take on a different meaning. What makes this important is that influence often operates quietly. The people closest to you can either strengthen your faith or gradually weaken your confidence without realizing it. This is why spiritual awareness requires patience. Not every lesson is meant to be understood in a single moment. Some truths unfold slowly, piece by piece. Have you ever felt uneasy around someone without knowing why? There was no argument, no obvious problem, yet something felt out of place. Many dismiss those feelings immediately. However, there are times when your spirit notices details before your mind has enough information to explain them. That does not mean every uncomfortable feeling is a warning. It means some impressions deserve thoughtful reflection rather than instant dismissal. The challenge is learning the difference between fear and discernment. Fear creates confusion. Discernment brings clarity, even when the truth is difficult to accept. There are seasons when God begins separating certain influences from our lives. At first, those changes may appear unexpected or even painful. Relationships shift. Conversations become less frequent. Opportunities to reconnect seem to disappear. Yet later, the purpose behind those changes becomes clearer. What once felt like loss may actually have been preparation. Not every departure is punishment. Sometimes it is protection. Think about the doors that have closed in your past. How many of them seemed disappointing at the time, only for you to later recognize a greater purpose behind them. This same principle can apply to people. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to remain there forever. Some individuals are part of a specific chapter. They contribute something valuable, teach an important lesson, and then move in a different direction. The difficulty comes when we hold too tightly to what God may be asking us to release. Clarity often arrives after surrender. There is another detail that many overlook. The people who truly support your growth are often the ones who encourage wisdom, responsibility, and faith rather than feeding fear or negativity. Pay close attention to the voices that influence your decisions. The guidance you follow today can shape the direction of your future in ways you may not yet realize. And there is one particular sign, often missed by almost everyone, that can reveal more about a person's intentions than any words they choose to speak. That sign rarely appears during major events. In fact, it often reveals itself during ordinary moments when people are not trying to impress anyone. Watch how someone responds when attention is focused on another person's success. The reaction may be brief, but it can reveal far more than a long conversation. Some individuals become noticeably quiet when good news is shared. Others immediately redirect the focus elsewhere. These details are easy to miss unless you are paying close attention. What makes these moments important is their spontaneity. Prepared responses can be controlled. Unplanned reactions are much harder to hide. There is a reason why certain truths emerge unexpectedly. Life has a way of revealing character when people least expect it. Think about the last time you achieved something meaningful. Beyond the congratulations, what did you truly observe? What changed afterward? Sometimes the real answer is found not in what happened immediately, but in what happened during the days that followed. A shift in attitude. A change in communication. A subtle distance that was never explained. Small clues can point toward larger realities. Yet this message is not about judging others. It is about developing the wisdom to understand your environment more clearly. Discernment is not suspicion. It is the ability to recognize what strengthens your peace and what consistently disturbs it. Many people spend years searching for signs while overlooking the evidence already present in their daily experiences. The challenge is that familiarity can make important details seem normal. What you have accepted for a long time may deserve a second look. This is why moments of reflection are so valuable. They allow you to notice patterns that constant activity often conceals. There may already be situations coming to your mind as you listen. Names, conversations, or events that suddenly seem more significant than before. Do not rush to conclusions. Instead, observe carefully. Truth becomes stronger when it is supported by consistent evidence rather than assumptions. One of the greatest mistakes people make is ignoring repeated warnings simply because they arrive in subtle forms. A single occurrence may mean very little, but when the same type of experience repeats again and again, it deserves attention. The interesting part is that these patterns often become visible just before an important change begins to unfold. Many discover this only after looking back and realizing that signs were appearing long before the outcome became obvious. And among all these signs, there is one particular pattern connected to timing itself. A pattern that has surprised countless people once they finally recognized what it was showing them. As we come to the end of this message, take a moment to reflect on everything you have heard today. The purpose of this time together was not to create fear or doubt, but to encourage wisdom, discernment, and a closer walk with God. If this message spoke to your heart, do not let it pass by without responding. Sometimes a simple act of faith is enough to remind us that we are paying attention to the guidance God places before us. To confirm that you received this message and stayed until the end, write this phrase in the comments: I choose to move forward with wisdom. Your words may also encourage someone else who is reading and searching for strength, clarity, and direction in their own journey. Thank you for spending these moments with us. We are grateful for your presence, your faith, and the time you dedicated to listening to this message. If you would like to continue receiving messages of encouragement, spiritual guidance, and reflection, we invite you to join our community. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you do not miss future messages. Each new message is an opportunity to grow in faith, gain wisdom, and strengthen your relationship with God through prayer and reflection. May God bless you, protect you, guide your steps, and fill your heart with peace. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this journey.